Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Happy Sunday. I hope the quality of this live broadcast is okay because we've been having trouble with it. I'm not really doing anything different, so I'm hoping just, I don't know, the broadband speed is okay. Doing it in the office, um, we'll see. Another couple things. It's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna really try hard to keep these things under 10 minutes. When they go above 10 minutes, I think it becomes not easily watchable in the chunk that I think people like to watch these things in. I know my wife even has a hard time watching these things, and she's my biggest fan. So if she has a hard time watching this, I've got problems. Um, Here we go. What else we got? We got a person or two watching this yet. John, what's up? Good evening. Yeah, how's everybody's weekend going? Things are good here. We had a great Sunday. It was like our last day probably at the beach here in Chicago. It's possible we can squeeze out one at the end of August. We've got some stuff coming up over the next weekend or two. Yeah, so we went to the beach, sat out, had this like beautiful lunch. Like there's this place, if you're in Chicago, there's this place called Feeder on the Lake, which is being redone right now. It's not even open right now. But there's a little cafe thing over there, and they sell food and beer and wine and whatever. And they don't even make the food, right? I think it's like catered. They just maybe heat it up there, and it's just awesome. Like it's just the view is just you can't beat it. It's like a view of the city, view of the lake, view of the beach, and you can just have a beer and eat good food. Yeah, so anyway, let's talk about vlogging gear and vlogging cameras. Someone, Mark, I believe, Mark Turner asked in a comment, hey Nathan, thanks for sharing the frustrations in a recent vlog I posted. He said, I have a bit of an off-topic question. Did you switch up your camera setup? Well, it kind of depends on when you started watching me, if I changed my camera setup. And I've done some posts in the past on kind of my gear, and this is just kind of a refresher and some thoughts I have on camera equipment. So these days, if I'm doing a live video, I'm just using this like an older Logitech camera with a 1080p camera. It's fine. It's fine for just kind of a live video. Yeah, if sometimes I also will set up this thing on a tripod to do a live video. And the only problem with an iPhone camera is the front camera is like 720p. So it's not the highest resolution. So I usually now I've been trying to stick to the Logitech for these videos. But if I'm doing a normal vlog, most of the footage that I shoot these days is with a Canon Canon G7X Mark II, just means it's the second in a series of the 7X. There's a little fuzzy thing up at the top, which is a windscreen. A lot of people are like, what is that thing on here? They're kind of weirded out by it. It is really strange looking, but it is just for cutting the wind. I've tried to do it without this thing on there, and there's so much wind noise when you're even on a day that you don't even feel like is windy. Wind blows across the top. There's like two microphones up here. Wind blows across the top, and it makes the audio terrible. So with this thing, it makes it at least bearable. Down here, it's just a Joby tripod, and it's just a flexible tripod. I can hang this thing from somewhere, use it as a selfie stick. It's a pretty standard vlogger setup these days. But this is what I use most of the time. So over the course of my vlogging, I have done a lot of stuff just on the iPhone. Then I moved to this Logitech camera. When I started trying to do some more stuff kind of that I thought was kind of a little bit more adventurous, kind of getting out of the office, my first purchases was a Canon 80D, which is a giant honking DSLR camera, and a giant Joby. It's like the enormous version of this thing. And it's expensive. I mean, that DSLR camera is expensive. The quality, though, is insanely great. And the audio from it is also really great when you use a shotgun microphone at the top of it. But the portability is just awful. And it's just so kind of almost embarrassing to carry this giant thing around, and you don't want to hurt it, and it's so expensive. So I don't take it anywhere. And so my ability to vlog with it just becomes terrible, even though it's such a great camera. I'll use it a little bit for some of the audio and interview portion of a vlog. But these days, I just try to shoot most everything on this thing. And if I don't have this thing, it's just my iPhone camera. And so that's pretty much my vlogging setup. And I realize now, over the course of me purchasing equipment, I should have probably just bought this to begin with. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm a little bit nuanced. I know a lot of people are like, hey, it's not, you know, camera equipment doesn't matter. I kind of agree with that. I kind of agree that you need to, you know, be creative first before the equipment matters. But I've also watched a lot of grainy footage and low res footage, and low audio quality, and it's so painful to watch. So I kind of find myself fitting somewhere in the middle. I do agree that you should work with the stuff that you have at hand. And I think as soon as you try to start reaching for really expensive things, hoping they're gonna make you creative and make your videos awesome, they're not. You're gonna suck. They're not gonna help at all. But if you are kind of fighting some of the grainy quality footage and audio quality footage, the new equipment's gonna help. I'm kind of the mindset, there's like a way to think about it if you play poker at all. That stack of chips, when you play poker, if you're going to be any good at poker, you can't mind losing that stack of chips. And that's not usually how people play. A lot of people go to Vegas or play in a game. I mean, they go and maybe say it's 200 bucks. And for them, that 200 bucks hurts to lose. And if you are playing with something that hurts to lose, you are not going to play well. The best poker players are sitting in front of a stack of chips that they don't care if they lose, because they know if they keep showing up at a table with that stack of chips over and over and over again, over the long run, they are going to win, right? They know what they're doing, that it doesn't hurt them to lose it. That's kind of how this, I think, has to be. Too many people, when they want to level up the quality of their vlog, they spend $1,000 or $2,000 buying the fanciest camera they can buy, and then they don't want to use it, right? They don't want to bring it outside when it's raining. They don't want to bring it out to a place where they think they're going to bump it. And it's like that stack of poker chips. Because they're so worried about it, they don't do good things with it. And so this thing, it's cheaper. It's still not super cheap. And so I still feel like a lot of people buying this are going to treat it a little bit too carefully. I've gotten past that point. I'm throwing this thing in my pocket. One interesting thing to note, this thing has gathered a lot of dust. There's a ton of dust that like gets caught in this like lens contraption that extends in and out. There's a lot of videos that people are doing to fix it. They'll drill holes into the barrel of the lens and use vacuum cleaners. I will say I picked up a black spot. You can see in some videos that I was doing like a few weeks ago. And I couldn't fix it. I was trying the vacuum cleaner method. I didn't drill any holes, but you can still use a vacuum cleaner to kind of try to suck dust out. It didn't help. I sent it to Canon. They fixed it for free. So Canon's got a great warranty. So I've been happy with this. I've been happy kind of dragging it along to weird places, stick it in my pocket. I don't treat it like preciously. And I think that's made a big difference in kind of leveling up the quality of my vlog, but then not making me like treat it like a baby so I lose the creativity of using it. I still do weird stuff with it. I think that's kind of key. So if you are looking to upgrade the quality of your vlog, because using a phone kind of sucks, to be honest, like the stability sucks, the audio sucks, the front camera sucks. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the iPhone camera, but I agree a lot of people can do some really creative stuff with this. So I suggest start with it. Start vlogging every day with your iPhone camera and start doing some interesting things. When you get sick of the quality, take a baby step. Don't jump to the expensive thing that you're going to feel pain buying. Jump to the next level. You know, something probably maybe not even this expensive, but maybe a point and shoot that's got, you know, some decent image stabilization. I don't know what it is, but I jumped to this and I'm really happy with the G7X. That's my setup these days. Another really great book, if I can inspire you at all, again, I would start with the iPhone camera. I would start with this Logitech, and I would try to use that as much as you can. There's a book that I've been loving called Stretch. Read the book. It's a wonderful, inspirational kind of tome about stretching the things you have. Because as soon as you start jumping the things you start paying for, you get less and less creative. When you start trying to like buy your way out of problems, and you start trying to rely on monetary solutions to kind of fix the things around you. But if you get really good at stretching the things, when it is time and when you do get the resources to spend on something, you're just going to be that much better. Yeah, we've got to stretch the things that are near us more than when instead of jumping. And so I've jumped to things that like the DSLR, kind of regret it. It's a great thing to have around, but I probably wouldn't repeat that purchase. I don't think. I'm not maybe there yet. You know, I would never say never. If I were to kind of repeat the purchases, maybe in another year I'd buy the DSLR. I'm not sure. The drone, I bought a drone. I'm pretty unhappy with my drone purchase. DJI, if you're going to get a drone, the DJI is a wonderful company. But man, using a drone in Chicago is so hard. There's so many helicopters. The laws are pretty stringent on flying these things in a lot of airspace. So I think it's not worth it. It's not worth spending a lot of money. I say just get more creative on the ground with a camera instead of hoping to spend $1,000 on a drone to make your vlog interesting. So that's it. Let me look at the chat here real quick, but I'm gonna get off here soon. What do we got? People talking about cameras. Awesome convo. John's using a Sony. Yeah, I wish that, yeah, the Canon, one thing that sucks about the Canon is this thing doesn't even shoot in 4K. It's still 1080p. Is there a little bit higher than 1080p? I'm not even sure, but it doesn't shoot 4K, which is unfortunate. But the image stabilization I haven't used a Sony myself, but the image stabilization on this thing compared to the Sony, I think this thing might beat the Sony. And I'm only judging that based on stuff that I keep watching, and there's some reviews about it. Not knocking on the Sony, but for some reason the image stabilization was critical to me, and so the Sony's a kick-ass camera too. So yeah, that RX100, great camera. And what else we got? Yeah, BoatFam does all of his stuff on the iPhone 7 Plus, and his videos are great. Like, he's got a lot of subscribers and people tuning into that stuff, a lot of views, and he's doing it all on the ice. Yeah, it's all about portability, and yeah, he's rocking it with that thing. So yeah, he's a great example. You should check that out. Yeah, BoatFam, Stretch, great book. You are clearly doing it with using the 7 Plus, and yeah, that is inspiring. John asked, do you have a gimbal? I don't have a gimbal. Again, it's like adding the gimbal, I've looked at buying a gimbal. I think it would kill my portability factor. I mean, this is already hard enough. The extra gimbal size and worrying about the batteries and powering the gimbal, I haven't committed to it. But I kind of would like to maybe try to make my iPhone footage more stable, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. John is offering to buy my drone. He's in Chicago at the end of the month. I don't know, man, maybe. Although, to tell you the truth, I'm bringing it to a place that I'm hoping has a little bit more space for me to fly it. So I think I'm going to enjoy it this month. We'll see. We'll see. I do kind of regret the purchase, to be honest, though. But anyway, guys, I hope you had an awesome weekend. I'm going to break this off to keep it short. Please email me, ask stuff in the comments. I love answering questions. I'm on Twitter, great place to ask questions. I will answer anything you guys ask. And please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye, everybody.